welcome back to Nuggets Europe. Michael here, joined by Benjamin and Brad. Lads, good to have you in. Good to be back talking Nuggets again. Well, first of all, welcome in, lads. Welcome in.
Thank you very much.
It's obviously I think we're all in the same situation here. We're all in lockdown, so I hope there's no excuses. I mean, I presume we're all watching the games late at night, and I didn't see last night's game live. Just gonna put that right now.
Yeah, the 2 a.m. ones are hard. The 2 a.m. ones are the killers.
Yeah.
They're not easy, like. Brad, I mean, have you got a chance to watch like the Nuggets or the Avs yet, like live? Because
I
watched the Avs.
I actually watched the Avs last night. That was brutal. 3 o'clock it started. I came in about 5 minutes into it. But yeah, watched it. It was good. I played really well.
I don't know how you're doing it, man. I don't know how you're doing
it. I'm tired.
Seriously, like, how are you doing it? Jump on last night's victory, though, for the Nuggets. I'll start with you, Benjamin, man. 119, 101 against the Thunder, man. Doesn't really matter who you're playing. I think when you're beating the team by nearly 20 points, it's a good result. But very, very good performance last night, especially Benjamin from Nikola. 12 rebounds, 6 assists. This is only in 3 quarters as well, 27 points. I mean, the guy is on fire at the minute.
Oh, yeah, he's playing out of his mind. But, I mean, look, yeah, great win. I think we have a habit of losing to teams that, on paper, we should beat. So it's nice to see that we didn't drop the ball on that one. Because obviously thinking back to teams like Sacramento and stuff, we didn't want to do the same thing against a team like OKC, who, to be fair, in that first quarter, they did play pretty well. I thought the starters were not their usual selves, apart from King Jokic, obviously. But the bench came in and really made a difference. The bench came in, the ball was moving, especially that first bench stint. The ball was popping. It was moving. The ball movement was great. So, yeah, great to see.
Great to see. Brad, obviously a good performance last night. A win's a win, isn't it? Take it and run.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we need to we're just creeping at that 500 mark. We keep dropping below it, coming back, dropping below, coming back. And we need to start pushing on and get some wins collectively up and push up and get back into that top 8 as quick as possible, really, and then push on and get further up. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good performance all round. Generally, I mean, we did say the starters were a bit sluggish, but I'm not going to grumble too much. I thought it was a lot better from Will the Frill. I think he's been pretty poor to start the season. But it was a better game from him all round yesterday. But I think for me, Monte's been my favourite player. So I mean, take out King Jokic. I mean, he's just a god. I mean, what else can you say about him? But no, Monte's been phenomenal for me. I mean, he's been exceptional. It's been like a third quarter guardian, to be honest with you. Sort of kept us in games. But I thought he was brilliant last night as well. So.
And even seeing the team's performance in the second quarter, I think obviously the Nuggets took charge of the game, but they held OKC to like 26% or something from shooting. So it was just a great performance in the second quarter. But as Brad said, Benjamin, now talking about football terms here, I'm talking American sport terms, plus or 0.500 or whatever, like sitting 7-7. I think 10 days ago when we last spoke, we were almost arguing, okay, if we can stay around or try and get a few games up. It hasn't happened yet, but it's still early on in what is a shortened season.
Yeah, we just got to do it. At some point, we've got to get above that 500 mark. We keep having opportunities, and we're just not taking them. It will happen, though. I have every confidence that it will happen. Especially Jokic playing the way that he is. The other guys, obviously, as I mentioned last time, a lot of stuff happened in the off season, a lot of new faces, some time to gel, some time to click. I mean, I would have hoped that it would have kind of moved a little bit faster than it had and stuff. But hey, look, we're still playing good basketball at times. There are things that obviously need to change. But, as I say, it will happen. I've no doubt.
Yeah.
You still have the faith, Brad, yeah?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to quite hit the what was it, 60 wins or 50 wins I predicted. Well, we're definitely struggling on that one, I have to say. I mean, yeah, as Ben said, I mean, we've had some new faces. I mean, we still haven't even seen G-Wiz hasn't even hit the court yet. So, I mean, that's a disappointment in the least, getting a free agent signing and not seeing him play at all. I mean, that's always a struggle. And I mean, I think what they're saying, they're going to evaluate in 4 to 6 weeks as well now. So, I mean, he's going to miss at least a third of the season, if not more. So, which is worrying.
It's disappointing as well. And talking about different struggles as well, I guess, and not trying to jump on the negative stuff, because there's plenty of positive things going on. But Benjamin, obviously, Will Barton, his finishing, or maybe a bit of play in that sense, it's not concerning, but it's something that he needs to adjust, isn't it?
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, I don't think he's been so bad from three this year. I don't know his percentage off the top of my head, but it seems that's not really where the struggles are. I mean, that Utah game, I can't remember, but it was probably 3 or 4 times I saw him miss an open layup or an open-ish layup at least. So, but more so to the point, it's like shots that he makes. You know, these are shots that Will Barton takes. He's a slasher. He gets inside. And when he does, it's usually a bucket. He's really good when it comes to that. Generally speaking, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's a confidence thing. You know, maybe he just needs to see a few of them go in, and then see one go down. Confidence goes up, and hopefully it improves.
Brad, Will Barton is 44% from the 2-point range, and I think he's ranked 90th out of 94th in field goal percentage. What's the way to get better for him this season? We're still early enough doors, and 14 games in.
Well, he needs to start hitting some of them shots. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's a poor percentage for anyone. But,
I've made it sound really bad, haven't I?
Especially not someone who wants to be a star. I mean, that's he was moaning at the beginning of the season because MPJ might take his spot in the rotation, and now that's poor. Yeah, I didn't realise it was that bad actually. I knew it hadn't been great, but it's frightening. There's definitely no trade value there.
Not yet. We'll see what happens. I seen the Serbian guys were talking about it at the weekend because they had so they've got their own videographer now that puts all the clips together. I'm sure you've seen it. It's like, I wouldn't mind just click. Like the NBA advanced stats sort of thing. He is struggling, but I guess if he gets to that next stage, he'll be trying to improve a little bit. It must be different as well when you haven't got fans there as well. I think if there was fans there and he was playing like that, it might be a bit different. But going from one guy to another, Benjamin, what's been your thoughts on Campazzo so far this season? Because you've seen in the preseason, it was like he could do no wrong. The first couple of games, this is class, man, Campazzo. Do you think he struggled a little bit trying to get adjusted to the NBA coming from Europe, or do you think it'll take more time?
Yeah, I think at times he's probably struggled. I remember the first game against Sacramento. I believe it was against Sacramento, where he had his first opportunity to play NBA minutes. He was quite erratic. It seemed. He's defensively. He seems quite erratic anyway, but in a good way. If that makes any sense whatsoever. But it seems like he has slowly started to adjust this, and his 3-point shooting has been such a touch. It's been a real surprise. I think he was shooting 41% from three, so that's great. I think he'll be a great addition. And look, I think Jamal Murray needs some time off. Right, Jamal Murray absolutely needs some time off. We put Monte with the starters. This is just my opinion. Obviously, I'm no coach, but put Monte with the starters. Let Campazzo run the second unit and go with it from there and see how he adapts to that. Because he's playing a lot of his minutes with Monte Morris, so he can't have that role that he's used to having of being the floor general and being in control, telling guys where to go. I mean, you've seen glimpses of it at times, but I would love to see that, and I'd love to see how he handles that role. But yeah, I think that at times he's maybe struggled to adapt, but it's going to be a process. It's not going to be an immediate thing. So hopefully not long, and we'll start seeing some flashes.
Have you seen much of Campazzo, Brad? Obviously, I spent the whole intro editing.
That's a nice little summary of erratic. That's a great word for him. I mean, I think sometimes I don't even know what he's going to do, let alone if he does not know what he's going to do. But no, I mean, I think the Murray thing's something we're going to talk about at some stage. But obviously, I don't want him dropped because he's in my fantasy team, so I can't have him dropping at all because I need those points. But yeah, he's definitely been struggling to start off. He's another one that's been slightly erratic, shall we say, with his scoring. Obviously, as they say, he's nursing this elbow injury. So yeah, I wonder if they're going to wait till MPJ does get back, which hopefully is Friday, and then they can start looking. Because I mean, if they take Jamal out now as well, we're going to really struggle. We need that some ability from the free, and so MPJ slitting back in there might help that transition. And so I think that's a good idea, Ben. I like that with Monte moving up to the starters.
I'll have to get you on the coach. I think Ben should give him just give him a call, Coach Malone, to see what happens. Yeah, I woke up this morning and I seen this useless stat lads. You've probably seen it yourselves. Like, but in all seriousness, the Nuggets record when Campazzo plays less than 12 minutes, 1-6. When he plays more than 12 minutes, 6-1. So there you go.
It's good stuff.
One for the Argentinians out there.
Yeah, I love that.
There's a lot of Argentinian Nuggets pages popping up. Like 5 of them have followed us in the last month. So
wow.
welcome in. Yeah. Before I forget about last night, lads, Paul Millsap done really well last night. The 13 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Coming into it again, a good enough performance last night.
Yeah, it was quiet. Like it was a quiet double. Kind of crept up on you there, but no, he just did Paul Millsap things. As he gets older, he obviously doesn't have quite the hops that he used to at one point. But he's smart. He's a smart player. He knows where to be, right place, right time, and he's our veteran. We need him to be having games like that sometimes when other people aren't quite stepping up. But yeah, good game from Paul. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely, Brad. Did you see much of it? Did you see much of him last night, or have you been impressed?
No, I
with
didn't.
The part
I
of the
didn't
season?
see too much last night. I just watched the highlights. So but it's good. I mean, he's going to have games like that. He's always going to be a bit up and down. I think just because of his age, but experience is always handy. I mean, just to put the arm around the younger guy is always a good thing to have around the locker room. And I mean, this is a young team, and we're growing slowly and surely.
Slowly but surely, and going from slowly but surely, talking about slowly but surely, but MPJ's return is slowly but surely. It looks like I don't want to look ahead to this game yet, but it looks like he's going to be back in Phoenix on Friday night. So it's time, isn't it? And so you think, Ben, that Murray should almost be taking a step back at this point if MPJ does come in. He needs that rest. He needs that time to maybe develop or rest towards the end of the regular season. Just give him a bit more relaxation time. You've seen in the playoffs like last year, he was almost burned out towards the end. Like he gave everything, and maybe now he's finding that. Just because we've seen that game that first game of the season, Sacramento was just
I'm always one with any sport. I'm always one for taking care of people before anything. And I think if he's hurt and he's playing through an injury, I just worry that it's like, is it going to make it worse going forward? That's my first thought always with especially a player that I love so much like Jamal Murray. It's obviously been affecting him. He hasn't been Jamal Murray, and even forgetting Bubble Murray, even forgetting the rhetoric, you can only do it in the bubble. Jamal Murray isn't playing like the Jamal Murray that we know. He's shown glimpses of it, of course. Like the first half against Utah, he was unstoppable. Everything he touched, the rim was just, it was like throwing a stone in the ocean. So because he's Jamal Murray and that's what he can do. And he's been inconsistent at times throughout his career, but this isn't the Jamal Murray that we know, and there is something clearly wrong. And it was good to kind of finally get clarification that it was an elbow issue. There was an issue with an injury, because then it stops all the speculation about what's going on. I just think he needs some time off. And Brad, I think you're absolutely right. I think when MPJ comes back, we're going to have some more offensive firepower that will be able to afford those games where we can say, okay, you can sit this one out, because he needs some rest. He obviously needs to nurse that injury back to health. And I think hopefully that will come not too soon. Yeah. Not too far. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, like I was saying there, Brad, like obviously Coach Malone talking, albeit 2 days ago, confirming the elbow injury. I'd love to give him some time off, but the reality is, well, right then and there, they were 6-7, now 7-7. So it's very hard. He said it's very hard to do that there. If we need to do so, we will. I think they might, I know they've got depth there, but they might find it a little struggle. I've seen guys from Denver Stiffs talking about, what sort of rotation you might have if MPJ does come in. They were talking again what Ben said there, maybe take it away a little, but I mean, if his elbow's gone or if it's hurting, he says it hurts him every shot, Brad, so maybe it might be time to give him a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, well, I mean, as Ben said, I think you've got to start looking at the long-term effects. I mean, it's great having him here for the short term, but then you've got to start looking at if you keep playing on an injury and it just gets worse and worse, you could end up with like a Tommy John surgery or something, and that's just going to completely kill the team if you take him out for a real long period. So if it's something that just needs a few days rest, it's just a bit of bruising or whatever it is, then I guess you just start sitting him now, get it done quickly, get him healed up, and then give him the big push towards the end. But yeah, I mean, if it's going to be something that's going to take him out for a long time, I don't know what the plan would be. It's going to be tough if it is a long-term thing. But yeah, that's Jamal Murray, isn't it? I mean, we need Jamal. The MPJ one is going to be so good to have him back. Oh, crazy! Honestly, because we had all these questions at the beginning of the season of if he's even going to be a starter, and now it just doesn't. The team just doesn't look right when he's not around. To be honest, I mean, there's only so much that Jokic can do. And, I mean,
love how excited
doubles is unbelievable. It's like,
oh man, absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
Before we look at the games this weekend, I think it's only relevant because we talked about this the last time, lads, and I think we're getting more of that way there now. Like, Ben, like, should Jokic be considered for MVP? Right, as of right now, if the season was to end today, would Jokic win the MVP?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And I suddenly had this thought. I thought to myself, it's always based on how a player plays, but also where the team is seeded, right? Which I think is absolutely spot on. It should be. If the player has been the best player on a team that has succeeded and been one of the best teams throughout the regular season, absolutely right. But then I thought back and I thought, well, hold on. Right now, Jokic is averaging a triple-double. Russell Westbrook won MVP because he averaged a triple-double. The Thunder came 6th in the Western Conference that year in 16, 17. I think it was 6th or maybe 7th. No, I think it was 6th. So if we're going on that, absolutely. He absolutely should be MVP right now, 100%. He's putting up historic numbers and so consistently. So to answer your question, absolutely. Yes, he should.
I think you've made a very good point there. Sorry about just 2 seconds, but you've made a very good point there, man. Like, talking about the location of where he's at. I think if he's more west, maybe in LA, Twitter would be going nuts. I think it's because he's
in New York or in the East. If he was playing in New York, it'd be all over him. If he was in any big city, the world would go mad.
Big market.
Yeah, for sure.
Time will tell. I hope he's all put money on it, boys, a few weeks ago. But sure luck. We will say no more on that. 2 games against the Suns. Correct me if I'm wrong. Going forward, I might have got that wrong. But late Friday night for us, 3 a.m. Saturday, and then early Sunday morning, 2 a.m. Well, 2 a.m. Sunday morning, late Saturday night. The games are on Not in Sky, so they're on the League Pass. As always, you got an MPV in your team. We can't even watch the game on TV. I'm only joking. But what are you expecting to see, Ben, just ahead of these 2 games? Because I'll try and jump on after these 2 games again for this. But what are you expecting to see ahead of these 2 games? Do you think we can get to 9 and 7?
9 and 7 would be a stretch. I just want to. If we win the first game, right, we'll be over 500. Right, if we win the first game, we're over 500. That'd be a confidence boost going forward. But there's players that worry me on the Phoenix Suns. They're a good looking team. I'm expecting tight games with the likes of the Phoenix Suns. Whichever way they drop, I mean, I don't know, but players like Bridges, Mikal Bridges, could do some damage against us. He's a great player. I don't know if Will Barton's going to be guarding him or what have you, but we'll see. Either way, I think it's going to be tight. I'd love to get that first one so we can go over 500 for the first time. If we can get 2, obviously, all the better. But yeah, I think it's going to be tight either way.
Yeah, Nate, Brad.
I think 8 and 8 is probably right. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. Because I just love Devin Booker. He's just such a great player. And he just scares me every time we play him. I don't know why. I don't actually think he's ever done that great against us, but yeah, from memory. But he's just a good player all round. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough one. Just one of those weird matches for us, the Phoenix Suns.
The Suns are 7 and 5 as well, so they're over the hump almost. They're over the 0.500, and they've just more recently it took the Clippers. They got beat against the Clippers within 5 points though. Beat the Raptors, and then obviously at the start of January they beat us by 3 points. So revenge chance.
Yeah, but Jokic likes playing against Ayton. He does like it. Historically, he's like that matchup. But I think Ayton's a good player. I think he is a good player, and I think the thing with having a player as talented as Jokic is that these bigs on the other teams, they come in and they've got a point to prove. They're saying, okay, I'm going up against the best center in the league. I'm going to play as hard as I possibly can. So Aiton's one of those characters who wants to be in that upper echelon of centers. So he's going to, I think he'll be locked in for both of those games. But historically, Jokic has kind of sat him down,
dominated
on the lesson.
Yeah. I mean, Brad, there's a decent slate of games after this. You got the Mavs on Tuesday, the Heat on Thursday. Well, I'm saying Tuesday and Thursday. I mean, it's the day before our time, but the Spurs on Friday night, which might be on TV. Probably not.
Heat might be a good one because they've got a massive injury crisis going on over there. I think they're pretty riddled with COVID as well, aren't they?
We'll take them. We'll take everyone we can get.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is probably a good time to play them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Next weekend, Utah as well, Brad, and then the visit of Jeremy Grant and Mason Plumlee to Denver on the 2nd of February.
That'd be a nice one. That'd be a good one to watch.
Yeah. We'll try and jump on, boys, I'd say, before that Mavs game, maybe, if we get time, 100%, we'll jump on. Any final thoughts ahead of these 2 games, boys? Just confident, feeling good?
No.
Just as long as we stay on that. I mean, confident, not really. A little bit. I think, let's hope we get MPJ back.
MPJ's back, then, yeah.
MPJ, 22 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Jokic, 35 points. Yeah, I'll take off. I'm only joking. No, here, look.
Very nicely rested, yeah.
Big time. And I think that's the dream. If we get to Tuesday and Murray's had a bit of rest, I think that's great as well. But for now, lads, appreciate your time.
Thanks.
Go Nuggets, man, and enjoy the next couple of games this weekend. Have a good weekend, a relaxing weekend, and I'll see you